Hi everyone. Just trying to get ready here. Now to find you on all right. I think everything is ready. I'm going to let you know right now. I still have a bit of a cold, so hopefully I don't start coughing and hacking. This is the project we're going to continue with. We are still working on the inside, so we will get on with it. Give me a shout out if there's anybody here, and let me know you're here. Otherwise, we will just get on with it. All right, so here's what we've got so far. So we've got our book and our pen, our envelope, and we've started matting. So what we're gonna do for the for the book here is we are going to, now I chose a black book for this reason because it makes it easier. But if you have a different color book, you're going to want to cut a piece the full size of your book, okay? Including your rings, okay? So if you have a different color book and you want to cover it all up and not show any of the background color, okay, so you're going to want to measure your book, okay? So see what your book size is and cut a whole piece, okay? Then this is the more difficult one, which is why I chose a black book, because it's more difficult because you got to punch all these holes. And if you don't have a proper punch this size, you want to avoid that. But if you do, which is a, I think it's 3/16. Mine is a Stampin' Up punch. This is the Stampin' Up punch, and this is the one that I use. Or you can use a crocodile or a big bite, whichever one that you have. Okay, so then you're going to want to measure and see how far in to the center of the ring, which is, you want to be in a 1/16 of an inch and under a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so then you're going to want to take your paper. Now I'm not going to do it. Okay, so you're going to want to take your paper and you're going to want to draw a line at a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so you're going to draw a line at a 1/16 of an inch. So you draw your line with your pencil, okay, and then you're going to line it up on your book, okay, which is your full size. And then you're going to take your pencil and you're just going to put a tick mark on that line where every ring is, okay, so all the way down. And then you're going to take your punch and you're going to, and this is, like I said, it's a pain in the butt. You may not want to do this. Then you're going to take your punch and you're going to sit the bottom of the punch over here on that line. Okay, right at the tick mark. So you're going to want to try and line it up as best as you can and punch and do the same thing all the way down. Then, then you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to, oh, I'm stuck here. Then you're just going to snip up to every punch. And then you can just kind of, you know, put your paper in and then you can glue it all down and everything, and then it's all secure. But like I said, I chose a book with a background color that is easily working with. So yes, I'm going to cover up most of this. That little bit sticking out is fine. It'll just kind of add to the decoration. So what we would do is we would glue this down, but I'm going to put tape all the way around. But we're going to build our envelope first. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. And we're going to build our envelope So what you're going to do, and again, the envelope is all going to depend on the size of your book as well. Okay, so you're going to want to measure. Okay, measure here, and you want a 12 by 12 piece because you can always trim. So you're going to take your 12 by 12 piece, you're going to measure this piece, okay, so whatever this piece is, by whatever, and then you're going to come down, you're going to cut it down 1/4 of an inch on each side. So you'll come down 1/4 of an inch and in 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and so you want to give yourself a 1/2 inch, okay? So when you're scoring, you want a 1/2 inch. So when you have it in your scoreboard, okay, you're going to score it a 1/2 inch. Then whatever it is, up, you know, like whatever height your book is, and then minus that 1/4 of an inch, and then another score. And you can always trim after, okay? So then you're going to put this in your scoreboard the other way, and you're going to want your width to be somewhat in the center so that when you fold your envelope pieces over, it gives you that look, if you know what I mean. Hello, whoever is here. I can see I have a couple of people viewing. Give me a shout out and say hi. Okay, so what you're going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut off the pieces that we don't need, which is the 2 outside 1/2 inch pieces and then the 2 outside squares at the top. We don't need those. Okay, so I'm going to cut them off. And you want to cut them off, you want to cut the whole score off. That whole score line, if you can. I cut right down that one line and just to that intersecting score line. And then the same thing on the top. You want to cut that whole score off. And if you got your paper in just the right light, you can see exactly where it is. Okay, just like so. There's one. And I apologize if I don't talk too much. I'm trying not to talk too much because I don't want to start coughing. Plus I'm concentrating on getting these lines straight. Okay, and then the 1/2 inch sections. And then I'm going to just kind of taper this one right now, just a little bit. One side is easier to see than the other, of course. Okay, again, I'm just going to give that a little taper. And there you have it. Okay, so if you need to straighten up any cuts, which I do right here, and I'm going to round my corners right here as well. So take whatever corner rounder you have. I like this one because it's got the 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to round those edges, those corners, like so. Get rid of my garbage. I can use these, they're big enough for scraps. Okay, so then we're just going to fold on our score lines and burnish. Whoopsie. Now you have lots of leftover here. So if you want, you can trim some off. I don't think I'm going to bother too much. You may have to, yeah, I got to trim just a little bit more off of the bottom, just simply because I'm folding over that 1/2 inch. So give it the tiniest little taper. Like so, just to get the bulk out of the way. And you're still, you see, going to cover that up anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so here is where the fun begins. So I want to come down and get rid of some of this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also give this a bit of a taper. And then I'm going to use a pencil and kind of line up. So just use a pencil and mark kind of where you started there. And of course it's on the wrong side, so you got to cut crooked here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. There, see, that takes a little bit away from that bulk as well, right? And you can do that, you can do however much you want. I'm going to do just that bit there. Okay, so there we have our envelope. So now what you can do is start decorating it. So you take whatever designer paper that you want. Everything's getting all messed up in here. Okay, so then we're going to take and set our book aside and get our paper out here. I had to figure out what paper I want. I think I'm going to do it pretty much the same as the other book to take away from the thinking of it all. I just got to find the right paper. Okay, and this is where the fun kind of begins. So what we want is the width, okay? You want the width of your paper, or of your project again, right? And with your pattern paper, again, each layer you downsize 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so you're going to come down 1/4 of an inch from what it is, from height to height and width. Okay, so I'm going to probably have to double check because I can never remember. Okay, so bring in our cutter. Cut the width by the height. Okay, but we're not quite done cutting yet, so I'll just move this over. Okay, and so your first piece you're going to cut, you want to be on top, okay, right? You want it on top. So no, you're still going to come in. You want to measure right from the edge, see what it is, and come in 1/4 of an inch, right? Because your layer is 1/4 of an inch, giving you that 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we're going to move our cutter. I'm going to open this up a little bit. Okay, so you're going to line up where you want it, and you're going to have to trim. You don't have to worry too much about the bottom, but you want to give yourself, and this is why we have a pencil and eraser, you're going to trim it from the one corner, from your inside corner over here, because you've got the right size there, down about that 1/8 of an inch. Okay, make your pencil mark, and then you can trim that with your scissors. I'm just going to use the scissors because it's such a fine trim. And then just lightly erase your pencil mark, because some papers will lose their pigmentation, I guess, their color. So who have we got visiting? Give me a shout out and say hi to everyone. Who's here? Hello. Are you all too shy to say hello? I'm just going to trim off a little bit off the bottom as well, just so we don't get it stuck. It's still going to be covered up, so that's not a big deal if it's a little crooked. Okay, so let's, again, I always dry fit, always. Okay, so that is perfect. So I'm going to glue that down. And now I can't remember if I'm going to sponge or not. Let me just have a look. I am sponging. Okay, so if you're sponging, sponge your edges. That just kind of, this is just taking a little bit off that sharpness of the cut edge. It's not much. And I have started to like the Ranger products. So I like the sponges, and I'm also using the Distress ink. This one is Gathered Twigs. Okay, so once that's done, you can glue that down. Okay. Again, I use wet glue. I like to use wet glue with whatever glue you choose. Whoa. And you don't want too much because it will warp your paper. And I managed to get a ton of it right here in this corner. Okay, so you just glue that down, get everything all lined up. Like I say, it doesn't matter too much on the bottom, it's going to get covered up. Okay, now we'll work on the other side. Okay, so you can see how that works. Okay, so you're going to take this one and you're going to do the same thing, but you're only going to line it up on this edge over here, because when you put that over, it's going to cover that, so that gives you this here. So again, you're going to line that up, and you're still going to cut off that little bit. You're going to give yourself that little bit, that 1/8 of an inch, the corner. Sorry if you see my head. Okay, and you're just going to cut that off. And then I'm just going to make sure, yep, perfect. Okay. And then just trim that off. And I trimmed off the actual pencil mark, so I don't have to erase it. So now I'm going to sponge. May as well leave that open now. I have glue everywhere. And if you struggle with your glue, that's all I do is I just take it and I work my pin back and forth until I get it in there. You guys who watch the replay, you'll have to let me know. I thought maybe Sunday would be a good day to do this, but I don't think it is because I never get anybody viewing. So you'll have to let me know maybe what is a better day. Yes, then you just line that back up again. Dry fit. Yeah, everything works. And then stick it down. And let me know what day works best for those who are interested in doing more lives and continuing, because this isn't going to be the end of this one. I'm not going to be able to do it all today. So there'll be at least one more in this series. And wet glue gives you that little bit of wiggle room. A little too much down there, but that's okay because this stuff glues down clear. Okay, give that a burnish. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape. Actually, I'll use glue, wet glue. And I'm going to just kind of, not right at the edge because I don't want it to seep out. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing here and here. And then you're just going to stick that down flat. Okay. Give it a minute to stick. Get a good stick there, and then give it a burnish. I got a little bit oozing out here. And then just, oh, I got a little bit on the inside. Because you don't want to have any glue wet on the inside because it will continue to stick. But so far we're good here. Okay. Then you can take and you can glue down your 1/2 inch. And you're going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. And then I'm just going to hold it down. Work that. If you have a little bit, that's fine because we're going to put a little tuck spot here on the bottom. I may trim down this flap as well because it is kind of coming down a long way, so I may trim a little off that. Let's take whole 1.5 inches, I think. 1.25 inches. Let's take off 1.25 inches. Meet in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a pencil mark. Line that up, draw a pencil mark, and I'm just going to cut it. Make sure I can see my pencil mark. And then I'll recut my corners. Might even be able to use this piece at the bottom. I'm thinking. Oh, perfect, yeah. Be able to use this piece at the bottom and give ourselves a little decorative edge here. And it's just a little tuck spot. So we'll keep this piece. Okay. Now I've got to do my corners here. Sorry. Get them straight in there. Perfect, perfect. If I don't do this every time, I get there. I start flinging it because they fall out of there. Okay, so there's our pocket, okay? So depending on what you want to do for your closure, I'm going to do the same thing I did again in this one, which is the cute little hearts with the string and whatchamacallit, string and I don't know what I can't remember. Words escape me today, my apologies. Okay, so we're not going to worry too terribly much about this right here, but this is the same pattern and it is the same size. So I'm going to cut, and I'm going to cut so I can keep this guy here so that I can mat the top, possibly even the bottom. We'll see, or the inside, I guess, not top and bottom. Because you're going to measure again. Now I can't remember because we cut off some. So I need to have it at 2. So I'm just going to see. I don't want to cut off the snail if I can help it. Well, I'm going to have to cut a little bit. There, 2. And it is the right width, so we're good there. Okay, so that's what we're going to have. You don't need to do anything with here because you're going to put it in your book. Okay, so we need to round the bottom. And again, you'll want to sponge if you're sponging. Hello to whoever is viewing. If you're going to stick around, even if shoot me a hello. I think this one's going to work too, so we might put that. Perfect, perfect. We might be able to put that on. I think I might put this one on the outside. And then on the inside, just keep the blue. I'm thinking. And this is why I don't decorate on camera, because I change my mind and a billion times. So I'm going to do this one as well. I kind of like him better because he's got the male, whereas the other little guy's got presents. So I think I'm going to pick him for on the front. Oh, and I wasn't even completely ready either because I didn't grab the punch or anything that we need to do this. Okay, so we can glue this one down, but don't put your inside piece in yet. Because you'll use it and you'll cover your brad. So you glue your outside on, but not your inside. say. Okay, so there's that. So now let's do this piece here. I'm going to erase my pencil mark. I can still kind of see it, it's shiny. Okay, and this should be 1.25 inches. Yeah. So I need a strip that is 1 inch, and I'm going to try and find if I have a scrap. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so I need it to cut that. So you're gonna, like I say, 1/4 inch smaller than what the original piece is. Now this one's because I'm kind of in the middle of everything here. Okay, I was gonna walk all the way around. Oh, I forgot to put my glue topper in. Have dried glue. Good enough. Okay, so cut that. Okay, and then we'll round those corners. And I keep, like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I keep all of these little pieces as well. So we want to round the top. Okay, sponge your edges. Okay, you can glue this down. So when you're watching the replay, those of you who watch that, let me know what day you would like me to do live videos and what you would like to see me do in live videos. Cards, if you want to do a folio project, God forbid. That'd take a month of Sundays. Literally, if we do it on Sunday. Okay, so now you can take this piece and you're just going to line that kind of where you want it. I'm going to put it right down at the bottom. So what you're going to do to make your little tuck spot is you're just going to give yourself a little fine line here. I'm giving it a little bit more of a fine line, but that's what you do at the bottom. And then up at just up to the edge. Whoopsie. Okay, just like that. And then you can stick it down. And then that gives you the tuck spot. When you glue the 3 edges like that, it gives you a tighter, pockets are a little bit looser. You can fit a couple more things into a pocket than you can a tuck spot. A tuck spot, you can just kind of tuck, you know, like if you want to cut out a couple critters or, you know, something like that, or a receipt in there. We're going to put a little decoration, one of the little snails on here. Okay, so there, see? And that gives you your space, and it gives you a little bit of contrast in there. Okay, so now I'm going to use the same pattern here. So this strip is perfect, I think. So give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to find the right heart punch. And you're going to need 6 of them, I believe. because you want, well, you need one here and one here. So I guess you don't need 6. You need 2 because you're going to have front and back. You're going to sandwich it. So 4 of them, okay. And then actually I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, so don't punch out anything yet. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I gotta find the right piece here. I may have to trim. You're gonna take a piece of acetate, okay, whatever acetate you have. And I'm going to glue, I'm going to use a strip of tape. And I'm going to just stick this right to the acetate. I hope you guys are enjoying the process here of this. Okay. Peel your tape. And I'm going to just stick this right directly lined up with my acetate. I moved it down, whoopsie, so that I could see where the edge of the acetate was. Oh, I keep getting it crooked. There. Okay, give that a burnish. Okay, and then punch out your 4 punches. Ah! Oh dear, I did all that and I'm just. Might be a little tough. Getting through the acetate. But the acetate will help keep your heart sturdy. Okay, and there you have a few extra if you want to decorate. I may as well, and then I can just cut it off. Because you can use them to decorate throughout your folio, or your, I guess it's not a folio, your notebook holder. Oh, there we go. Oh, I don't know if I have room for one more. Just. Can be garbage. Okay, so now we have our hearts. To find where I put my brad, so I'm going to run away again for a minute. I'd say talk amongst yourself, but you're not there. I have 2 sizes. I have teeny ones, and then I have slightly bigger ones, so we'll see which ones I want to use. Consult the original here. I used the teeny tiny ones. Okay. So I'm sure you've all done these before, right? So you take 2 of them and your paper piercing tool, which mine is hiding somewhere. And just in the middle, you're going to try and get it into the middle. You're just going to kind of try not to poke your fingers. Okay, stick your brad in there. Okay, there's one. Okay, again, stick your brad in there. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I still have a ton of Stampin' Up! Supplies, so that's what you'll see me use a lot of the time. And I like Stampin' Up! Products. Okay, so we'll move these out of the way. We don't need this anymore right now, but we won't put it away. This is why y'all tease me that my area is always so clean, is because I have my big bag here and I put things away as I no longer need them. Okay, so what you're going to do is, I'm going to just open up my main book, is figure out kind of where you want. I'm going to take one of the ones that I kind of had, where you want to put your heart. There, I kind of like it right there. So then you're going to take your paper piercing tool, hold your flap up, and you're going to put in a hole. Whoops. Okay, oh, and another thing I forgot is the twine. Let me just see if oh good, I have it right here. This is linen thread, twine, linen thread, whatever you choose. I don't know how much we need, probably not quite that much. So I'll go there. If I need another piece, so be it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of guide this through the hole. Okay, just like this. You don't need a whole bunch. Okay, take a little piece of tape. And stick that down. Okay, stay away from your hole though. Okay, stick that down. And then stick one of your hearts in there. Okay, like so. Open up. Okay, now there's one. Now line it up if you want to have it straight underneath or off to the side or wherever you might want to kind of have it. I'm thinking right there. So again, I'm going to take my piercing tool, and then you're going to want to lift it up because you don't want to go all the way through. Okay, so lift that up. Work it through, stick your other brad in there. Oopsie, oopsie. Okay, and then you may have to fight a little to open up those prongs. Can't see. Normally, I would get my phone and my flashlight, because I can't, my nails aren't long enough, I can't feel. And I know you could have done this beforehand, but oh, there, I think I finally got them apart. Ow! Yeah, I did it, I did it. Okay, and then you can turn it. And the other thing, if you want to, if you have Tyvek, okay, if you have Tyvek, cut yourself a patch, is what I call it, to stick over top of that brad so that when you stick something in there, it doesn't catch on the brad. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to feel where it is, right there, and then come up and stick that down. And now we have a perfect patch. I did it. Okay, and this, see, like so. And then you want to see and get however much that you want to use. I think this is a little long, so I'm going to tie a knot here. I kind of have my finger where I want to keep it. So I'm going to have it here, so I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. And that's going to keep it kind of sort of from fraying. And I'm going to cut just underneath that knot. Now, you can take 2 more of your little hearts and you're going to sandwich them. You want the tail end to be at the point of the heart. I'm just going to use tape because I've got vellum on here, but you can use wet glue if you like. To be honest with you, I like using tape. Okay, I'm going to peel that and then I'm going to stick over those edges. Okay, and then I'm going to just guide, whoopsie, oh dear. Okay, I'm going to use my piercing tool here. And just slide it under there and stick it down like so. Okay, just like that. And then you can take and you can put your other one right over top, if you can get it to work with you. Right over top, just like so. Now you've got that little heart sandwiched in there. I'm going to give it a little burnish so that I got those stuck together, and then I'm going to sponge. I'm just going to give my edges just a quick little. Then we can take that other piece for the inside and we can cover up our brad on the inside. Close that up before I spill them everywhere. Okay, so now you can take this piece and this one can go in here. Like so. I'm just going to sponge around this side now. And then our envelope is done. And we can put it on the, well, it's not done. We're still going to decorate. You can decorate it however you like. Peel off that piece of tape. Oop. And get glue all over there. Okay. Oop. Still had it in my head where it was going, so I had it the wrong way. Okay, and then you can just stick that down. Just like so. Go the other, I'm doing it this way just because. Okay, close that up, we're done. Other than the decorating. See now, isn't that the cutest little thing? Okay, so then we're going to take this piece and stick it to this piece. I always dry fit. You'll find you'll get annoyed by me because I always mess up and have to cut. Okay, so there. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down again with my wet glue. And when I dry fit, I kind of know where I'm going with my piece so that I get it kind of lined up in the right spots. Okay, and you might have to just kind of give this a hold for a minute. Let that adhesive stick, get a good hold there. I'm just giving burnishing so that that glue gets spread out a bit. Okay, I'm going to flip it over now and burnish. Now, I'm cheating, and I'm going to use tape on the back now because, like I say, this is a refillable, okay, so you can take this out if it's full and you don't want to have it anymore, and you don't have the paper that you used. If you get the same book, if you use undo, you can get under the tape, whereas you cannot do that to the glue. So I'm going to put this on with tape so that I can at some point take it off if I need to. So that's my kind of cheater hack. Or you can just make a whole new cover, change your mind however you like, put a different book in there. You know, you don't even have to decorate up the book. Okay, so you just I'm putting tape on all 4 sides. And then I'll put just a little bit in the middle. Oopsie. Got that a little crooked. Okay, tape all 4 sides. Like I said, I'm just going to throw a little bit here in the middle. Okay, burnish it down. Don't burnish too hard. You'd always put tape on this before you put it all together. Would probably be the smart move. Okay, make sure you have it the right way. I haven't been known to do that before. And again, like I say, I'm dry fitting, so I have an idea as to where I need to put it. Okay, and I'm going to peel the piece that's in the middle. A little bit here on top. And then another little bit on all the other 3 sides. Just so you can grab it and pull it. Okay. Okay, so just lining it up. I'm happy. Okay, I've got the middle stuck, so now I can just pull, pull, whoop, pull, and it's all stuck down. Okay, so there's our book. Okay, it's done. So now we can decorate, but decorating I might leave as homework for you guys so that I can see a little bit. I'll probably end up doing mine very similar. I cut out of the paper a couple of the mushrooms from the scrap paper that I couldn't use, and I'll probably do the same thing here. Okay, cut out a few of the little mushrooms or something and just have them sticking up there. Okay, so now we'll move on and we'll decorate in here. Okay, we'll just do up these and then we're going to be done for today. So there's what I did. My pen. Okay, so there's what I did. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can kind of sort of do the same. Okay, so I'm going to need a piece of, I gotta find the right one, I think. The words, if I can find them. Yes, the words and the mushrooms go together. So that's all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and I'm going to measure. Clean up my little area here. So you guys tease me because I'm too clean. Okay, so I'm just going to measure and see what I need. Okay, get that close up there for a second. Bring in my trimmer. Okay, so again, you want to see what your width is. Okay, and then you're going to take it down by 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I may change mine a smidgen. I'm still going to need that. Where'd my book go? I lost my book. I got both of them going here. I better close this before I stick my book in it again. Okay, so measure the pocket. Okay. And like I said, I always forget. I've made so many wrong cuts that it's not even funny. Okay, so now you've got your mushrooms go here. We may have to trim this down. Oh, I don't. And then that all fits just perfectly in all the way in the pocket. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to sponge my edges here. And you don't have to go all the way down because it's down hiding in your pocket. And then do your other piece here. If I knew how to do all of the editing stuff, I would edit this. Although I don't know if you can. Anyway, and have it just play to music. Because you don't need to know measurements exactly because you're going to take your own measurements, but I guess I have given you tips and tricks. So I'm going to stick this one down. Actually, I'm going to put the inside piece in first. And what I usually do is put a strip of tape on the very top. And then I get it into place. And I use wet glue. Got everything still out here. Okay, give that a burnish. Give your tape a burnish. Okay, so as I was saying, I get this into place right where I want it, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hold here, kind of sort of firmly. Lift this up and I'm going to kind of stick wet glue like so. Then you just stick that down. Give your wet glue a burnish. Spread it out. And then put your pin in. And then I just use my piercing tool and I peel that tape backing off like that, and voila. Okay. Again. So with your wet glue, and again, you don't want to have too much on there. And then you can stick down your mushrooms. Just like ta-da. Okay, now I might use the scraps that I have here, okay, instead of the reds, because I don't want to waste too much paper. So you're going to take this piece and you're going to cut it in half. Okay, you're going to cut your, whatever you have your width here. Close things up so that they don't dry out. Okay, so whatever you have your width, you had to cut it down to width, or to height, sorry, to height. So I'm just going to measure mine. Get my book out of the way for a second. Got to double check. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this one down to the same. Actually, let me see. I want to keep, oh yeah, that's better. I want to keep as much of the mushroom as I can intact in the right way. Okay, so now this is it for scraps. Now I'm going to see what this piece is, and I'm going to cut it into half. Half-ish. Okay, and same with this one. I'm going to see what half, so it's 5 1/2, so 2 3/4. Okay, then I'm going to dismantle my book here for a minute. I'm going to take the pen out and my notepad so that it'll lay flat while I do this. So see, so it lays flat. Okay, so we're going to lay that there and that there. Okay, this here and this here. And now we're going to need a strip of, I use black. So what you do, this is how you construct or how you make a tuck pocket, okay? So when you're working with a project and you are making a tuck pocket, this is how you do it, okay? So you're going to take your, oh, where's all my little hearts? I'm losing all my little hearts. Okay, so that's kind of how that's going to look. Okay, so we're going to sponge. Our mushroom piece is going to be, this here piece is going to be the pocket. This is going to lay flat. I don't know if you understand. It's okay, not a big deal. We're going to sponge all 3 sides, or all 4 sides of both of these. If you're sponging. If you're not sponging, you can just fast forward. So far we're doing okay. It looks like we're just into an hour here. And still no comments. Nobody has said hi. Even just a hello from wherever you're from. I'm from Saskatchewan, Canada, and it is 28 below right now. Okay, so the reason I do this is because I'm terrible with remembering. So now I have a bunch of strips that I've collected because I do this all the time. Okay, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you want your pocket is going to go this way on this side. So this edge here, okay, you're going to lay this down on there and give yourself a border. So you have all of those same 1/8 inch borders all the way around. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to run a bead of glue down that edge. Okay. And then just kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. I'm going to give it a burnish. Okay. And then just cut off the excess. With your scissors. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of stick another bead in here, just under there, so that it sticks down. Okay, burnish. Oh, there it went. Actually, let's do both of them. Okay, so there's the one. Okay, so it's going to go on this side on this one. Okay. Whoopsie. And if you get a little glue that kind of comes out, that's fine, because we're going to let it dry anyway. Okay, so just give that a burnish. Make sure your glue is stuck, and then trim off your tail. Okay, and this is going to go here. Okay, so now we're going to take these ones and we're going to just sponge the 3 sides that are going to be visible. Okay. Oh, I better. Okay, so you just sponge the 3 sides that are going to be visible on this one. Not that it much matters. It's not like you're wasting ink, but I know people are going to be watching the after, and I'm dead silent the whole time, so I should be talking more. Okay, so you just have to cover that up. Okay, so now we'll stick the green, blue, whatever color you call that, teal, all the way down. Okay, this one goes 100% down. Okay. that's why you kind of want to have this laying flat when you do this, because otherwise you will get a warp. Okay, give that a burnish and spread out that wet glue. Okay, now this here pocket, okay, this is going to be your pocket. So you're only going to glue the 3 sides under here. Just flip it over. You're not going to glue this side. Pardon me, sorry. Just a little bit of glue on the 3 sides. Okay, and that gives you your tuck pocket. Okay, and then you want to kind of line that up as best as you can. Just like so. And now you have a tuck pocket. If you are new to, well, this is kind of like a folio making idea, or folio idea. If you're new to folio making, I have lots of free project tutorials on my channel. Now let me see if I can find. Now see, you have a tuck spot. You can stick anything in here, like receipts, pictures, whatever. Whatever you want to use this for, you have a tuck spot. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, you can totally put down this piece. This piece is not the right size, so I'm going to, oh yeah, I cut that piece a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to kind of smooth out my glue here and let it dry. I'm going to have to trim this one down. Whoopsie poopsie. So I'm going to have to do the same to the pocket. I forgot. I guess that's what happens when you go 2 weeks before, or 2 weeks without having a video. I kind of forgot what I was doing here. So move that out of the way. Bring back in our trimmer. And my height for this side is 8.5. Which is, this is okay because I'm just going to see where 8.5 puts me to trim. There. Sorry if you're seeing my head. Oh, my glue was dry. Perfect. We're dry enough. Now I'm just going to have to re-sponge. Not a big deal. Not quite dry yet. Re-sponge. Now I can glue again. Oops. Okay, let's try that again. I have to find, I have 3 score lines here. Too high on that one. I'm a bit fussy, if any of you know me. Give that a burnish. And if you have any glue coming out over here, you want to kind of get it away because you don't want it to stick to your pocket. Okay, so then your pocket goes down. Oh, I kind of cut that one a little short, but that's okay. So again, glue on the 3 sides. Got a little bit much here in the corner. Okay, stick it down as flat as you can get it. Give it a burnish. Make sure that your glue is stuck well. And if it spreads out a little bit, that's fine. And there you have your tuck spots. Okay, so there you have tuck spot on this side and a tuck spot on this side. And your pocket. So you can get lots of room for all kinds of things. Okay, so I think we'll be done for today. Put everything back in. And tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week, next Sunday, we'll come back and we'll do the cover. They said last week that they wanted to do the shaker cover. So we'll do the shaker cover next week. And then I'll do a little bit of decorating. It's going to be decorated pretty much the same way. Bring in the old book here. Okay, so I'm going to pretty much decorate the same way. I'm going to put these here. I didn't do, this had a plastic cover, so I didn't do a pocket on this one, but in one of my original ones I did. I didn't do it in this one because I had this pocket page as well, so I didn't bother. If you guys want to do a pocket, let me know in the comments, and we'll maybe do a pocket for the inside as well. So we'll decorate it. I just did, like I said, I took a punch of whatever kind of punch, and I punched out this here, and then I matted it. And this, if you're using the same snail mail, you have these dies and this stamp. If not, then you can decorate however. Same thing here, same thing here. I just cut out some of the pieces from, sorry, from the pattern paper. See, there's where I got my mushrooms. And decorated. So that's how you decorate. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And now I'm going to figure out how to stop it again.